creating fitness as a lifestyle.
Hey everyone, Iron Will Roberts here, and it's my great pleasure to sit down with Bill Roberts, the owner-operator of 12 Stones Grassland Beef, ambassador to the green food production community, recent nominee for Father of the Year, my dad, Bill Roberts. Dad, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me.
So we've been having some great conversations lately about the people groups that live the longest, such as the people of Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and we've been finding some common denominators among those people that we wanted to share with you. So one of the things I thought was most interesting is that these people are from all different parts of the world. Some of them are in the mountains, some are at sea level, some are in the woods, some are in the meadows. So it wasn't like a locational thing. It wasn't paradise or Shangri-La that was like causing this. So what were some of the common denominators that you saw in your research?
Will, I'm going to go back a ways. In the early part of my research, over 20 years ago, one of the things that spurred my research is I lost my health. We moved to Oklahoma and I got deathly ill from allergies and some other things. And so I really was endeavoring to find out the keys that you're talking about because I needed them. So I started to really explore mineralization because some homeopathic physicians and some other people that were into health were telling me about mineralization, colloidal minerals, and those kinds of things. So I began to study, and I found that there were 5 civilizations in the world that lived an average of 110 to 120 years and were actually having babies in their 90s. So all the common denominator on those people, they were all in glacial till areas where the water supply came from melting glaciers that were going over rocks. So the water was highly mineralized. They were also in high sunlight areas because they were such at a high altitude. And I thought, well, that's real simple. You know, that's my silver bullet. I'm going to be absolutely healthy if it's my quick fix if I just drink my colloidal minerals. But I found out it wasn't that simple. My research took me next to Dr. Weston Price and his book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. And he went around the world in the early 1900s searching out the very things you're talking about. He went to different cultures, he examined their dental structure, their bone structure, and their overall physical health as manifested by bone quality, density, and strength.
Sure.
And he found that the 2 societies in all the world that he surveyed that were the healthiest were not Europe, were not France, were not England, not the places that you would think they would be the healthiest societies in the, quote, advanced industrial world.
Right.
They were the Morai of New Zealand and the Maasai of Africa. The Morai, their diet consisted of meat and milk, primarily, and the Maasai was meat, milk, and blood. Now, the meat and the milk came from grass-fed, grazing livestock, not grain-fed. So he showed that there was an X factor in the fat. He actually took the fat from these animals and he ground it up and he put it in chicken feed, and he had X number of chickens with chicken feed without the fat, the same chicken feed with the fat added,
right.
And he found the chickens that had the fat were 100 times healthier quantitatively than the chickens without the fat.
Right.
So he called it in those days the X factor. Since then, we have found its mineralization, its vitamins. They were getting their minerals not from the glacial water, but from the grass-fed animals through the meat and the fat. So there are so many things that I ultimately came in my research that there wasn't a silver bullet. There was a lifestyle and a whole composition of things pertaining to spirit, soul, and body, and nutrition that would apply to an overall total health package.
Sure. That's so brilliant. And that's really been the goal with Beyond the Gym, is to teach people this. It's not just a workout or it's not just a diet mentality, but it's really bringing all of those things together and creating fitness as a lifestyle, as I say.
It would be easier if it was simple.
That would be simpler. But I think it's interesting, though, even about the mineral thing. You know, there are some great mineral supplements out there, and if you guys want to know, you can email me or post on Facebook, and I'll recommend some. But like I always say about supplements, they're meant to be just that, supplementary to a very good diet. It's not a quick fix. And, you know, everyone talks about being out of balance between omega-3 and omega-6, omega-9 fatty acids in Western culture because we eat so much like grain and stuff like that. And now everyone's trying to supplement with omega-3s when really we just need to kind of tweak our diet a little bit.
Absolutely. And part of our business, Will, in our grass-fed beef business, we have a cafeteria mineral program that provides a total package for mineral supplementation to livestock on pasture. We think of pasture as, oh, so holistic and so wonderful. Our soils are so worn out, lack of fertility, lack of biology, that we need supplementation even in our animals until we restore the soils to the place that they used to be when white men first came to this country.
Right.
And we're doing the same thing with people with your supplementation. We're supplementing us until the food that we eat is absolutely at the highest level of nutritional quality.
Sure.
It's fresh, it was natural, it was organic, and I'll draw attention to Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. She is a Russian-born neurologist, neurosurgeon actually, in the UK that is also a PhD nutritionist. And in her research, she has found that the microbiology of the gastrointestinal tract, she claims in her research, is 90% of your immune system. And I draw reference to Dr. Simoncini from Italy, who he's a tremendous oncologist and has done amazing things in cancer research. He has found that 95% of the cancer that he researches is preceded by a Candida albicans infestation, which there's a normal amount of Candida albicans, which is biology basically, microbes that are in the gut, but they're in a small number, and over 85% of the good microflora keep them in check.
Sure.
With our high sugar, high processed food diet, we kill off the good microbes, we enhance the bad microbes, and that can lead from a standpoint of the microbes actually go across the barrier in the gut, get in the blood, and lodge in different places in our body, and our body responds to that invasion by producing tumors to protect it, and there you have cancer. 95% of his research cancers were preceded by Candida albicans.